Hi, welcome to the business of Black business. Today, we have a real unique opportunity to interview someone that I believe is a phenom in his space, a 34-year-old phenom, a business owner that has been a disruptor in his industry. But I got to tell you, my real intention is to let you hear from him. I want you to hear his story. I want you to know how it happened and why. Okay, my name is Jay Reynolds. I own WolfCreek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing firm placing people in finance, accounting, and IT. This is the business of Black business, but you know that. This show is designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be Black business owners start and to scale up a business. It's a real unique opportunity to gain access to real successful people and to hear from those thought leaders, to hear how they did it. Meet Victor Demesmin and Dover, personal injury attorneys. Victor, how are you? It's great to see you.
Jay, it's a pleasure, man. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, dude. I know how busy you are, right? So you're running around like 100 miles an hour all the time, probably with a cell phone in each hand. So I really do appreciate you spending the time to do this. Thanks very much. Now,
Thanks for having me, brother. It's actually good timing because I don't know if you'd be able to get me next month. My wife is 33 weeks pregnant, so we're expecting our third child.
Nice, congratulations. What is that number
three?
two?
Number three.
Outstanding, brother. That's outstanding news. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you introduce yourself? Now, I'm not interested in your bio, right? So much. I'm interested in who you are and why. Tell us who you are, who your mentors were, and what makes you you.
Yes. First of all, I'm a husband, father of three, like I said. But I definitely consider myself as a leader here at the firm and some of the other things that we have going on. I definitely also consider myself somewhat of an advisor, consultant. I help a lot of people out as much as possible because I strongly believe in reaching a hand out and helping someone else get to kind of the position that you're at. I wouldn't be here without the help that I've gotten along the way. I know my partner Jeremy also wouldn't be here without the help that he's gotten along the way. So we always make sure we keep that in the front of our minds to try to assist others as much as possible because we all need each other at the end of the day. The biggest commodity in life is not money, it's people. So if you have the right people around you, you have the right people guiding you, I think you can do anything in life. So we strongly believe in that.
Yeah, people and time. Can't get exactly two commodities that you can't put a price tag on. Mm-hmm. Now, Victor, you've built one of the largest personal injury firms in this area. Mm-hmm. Share your story. Tell us how you got to this point and why.
Well, yeah, I've always wanted to have my own firm. That was definitely a goal of mine since before even starting law school. My dad grew up teaching me, I should say, I grew up learning from my father, the importance of running your own business, running your own stuff, doing it your way, your vision. So even going to law school, the plan was always to start, my own firm. It was just more about making sure that before I started my own firm, I learned the foundation. I learned certain tools or applied certain tools, I should say, so the future to where I could become a successful entrepreneur, a successful businessman, a successful lawyer and attorney. And once I did that, I worked for another firm prior to starting the one with Jeremy here at Demesmin in Dover. We both worked at other firms, and we, combined our talents together, and we started Demesmin in Dover. And the rest is history. But again, we wouldn't be successful without the people that we have, without the staff, without the support. Even getting this thing situated today, I didn't do this. Our marketing director Ariel did all this. So I never try to take full credit for anything. I know, and I strongly believe that without the help and without the assistance that we have around us, Jeremy and I wouldn't be nowhere near as successful as we are today. And also people like you guys that are interested in what we're doing. People in the community. The community for us is the most important thing. And people think I'm crazy when I say this, but without the community, we wouldn't be where we're at. So whatever opportunity that we get to give back, whatever any kids out there that are listening that, we always try to help out with scholarships and things like that. For us, it's about having the platform that we have and creating a change. And
and to utilize that properly. And we're going to
yeah,
talk about that in depth because I really want people to understand who you are as a person and the vision of your firm. And people to really have an understanding about that, something that goes beyond just your television commercials, right?
yeah,
Um, and luckily, for me, I know you have been you had the occasion to talk to you person to person, and I know that you have some stories to tell about how you have built that organization and built and brought those people in around you, and how many of those folks that work for you are people that were a part of your life long before you built this successful firm. And I
yeah.
really applaud that, because what happens is that you have a situation where you have a successful business owner, and what he does is that he reaches back with his dominant hand, right? And he pulls up the person behind him, and you have a track record of doing that. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
You attended one of the top high schools in the country known for academics and sports. You're an athlete. And tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit how going to St. Thomas Aquinas High School affected you and your life, and let's call it the trajectory of your business.
Well, yeah, no, I'm a proud Raider. It's funny, I always have my Letterman jacket. It's actually behind me as we speak. But yes, I'm a proud Raider. Went to St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Definitely St. Thomas, I would say, was part of the foundation of building me. Outside of obviously my parents and everything that they've done for me and teaching me and things like that. Definitely, I would say St. Thomas definitely was a big help in putting me where I'm at today. And the sports aspect of things, that's huge. Right? I've got kids, and I want to make sure that they're a part of sports, because sports teaches you a lot of things that people don't realize, from teamwork, from leadership, taking the initiative, have building confidence. So a lot of the attributes and a lot of the qualities that I've been able to develop, um, I think a lot of them are from the sports that I played, from being a
Hmm.
part of those teams. And it allowed me at an early age to understand the importance of having a team, to understand the importance of having roles and putting people in certain positions to succeed. And it all started at St. Thomas Aquinas. And yes, like you said, St. Thomas Aquinas is still a powerhouse. We're still very involved with St. Thomas Aquinas. I'm very cool with the athletic
Hmm.
director, one of us right now. We still do a lot of things. We actually catered a few meals for them last week and the week before that. So I think, like you said, St. Thomas Aquinas being a part of that sports program, that tradition over there, definitely was the foundation to getting us to where we're at here today.
Yeah, it teaches you to push beyond yourself, right? To
Yep.
trust
Okay.
yourself to certain degree, and all of those things, I'm sure, those are the kind of lessons that you don't forget, right?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the personal accountability, personal responsibility. Now, tell me a little bit about you chose the field of personal injury law. Why? Why of
Well,
all the different types, corporate law, it could have been anything, but you chose
mhm.
personal injury. Why is that?
Well, yeah, it's crazy how it happened. Originally, I was supposed to go to law school to start a title company. A lot of people don't know, but I have my real estate license. I've had it since I was 18. I also have my mortgage license. I also have my insurance license, 220 license. My dad's
Wow.
been doing it for over 30 years. 220 insurance. He's been doing mortgage. He's a mortgage broker. He's a real estate broker. So the plan was to go to law school, start a title company, and we'll have everything all in one house. We'll do the closings too. And once I went to law school and graduated, my dad was like, "Hey, you ready? You ready to start the firm?" And that's when I was like, "No, not yet." I need to learn. Because people think you go to law school, they teach you how to start a firm. You don't. You
No, 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 no. They
learn
don't
your
teach you
legal
anything about
theory.
starting a business. That's
No,
good.
at all. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like, I want to make sure that I had the foundation on that aspect to be able to start a successful law firm and business and all that. And it wasn't about working for a real estate company, because we already knew real estate. My dad was like, "Why don't you work for something that you don't know yet, so you can add that to the business? Let's learn how to sue insurance companies." And we ended up working for a firm at the time, well, I did, and I learned just that, and I became very passionate about it. I became very passionate about helping the clients and making them whole when they sometimes this is the worst experience that they've ever experienced in their entire life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Most
felt like,
times.
yeah, and I felt like it was so rewarding as an attorney to be a part of that, them, getting their justice, or, making sure that they are made whole. And I became very passionate about
It's
that.
kind of funny how things work. Things happen the way they're supposed to, right? It just
Yeah.
made that make sense to you. Now, we're going to take a quick break just to pay the bills, right? And when we come back, I really want to talk about you and your practice.
Okay.
And how all of those things are connected and some of the things that you're doing. But we'll key on your practice. We'll come right back.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For Demesmin Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesmin Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
Please give us a call.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Welcome back, gang. Let's talk about your practice.
Yes.
Victor. Tell me, I understand personal injury, but tell me exactly what the focus of your practice is, and what are some of the other things that you do inside of your practice?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have quite a few focuses, to be honest, and I'll talk about.
No kidding.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, the first focus is to make sure that we handle every single case that comes through the door, whether it's a small case, big case, with the respect that it deserves. We make sure that we give it the right customer service. We make sure that we do whatever we can to make that client whole. That's the first focus, right? The second focus I have is developing some of the young people that we have here at the firm, right? And it's something that I'm very passionate about, the personal development of every single individual that walks through this door. We've had people that started with us from 3-4 years ago that are now directors here at this firm, that had jobs, working at grocery stores or, other institutions, right, that we don't really have to get into, but to see them come in here and change their lives, help them feed their families, that for me has been one of the biggest blessings. And also, I think the last focus would be from a marketing standpoint. I think a lot of people have raved about the marketing that we've been able to do for the last 3 years. The name Demesmin and Dover, I think, is almost like a household name, I've been told.
Absolutely.
Now, down here in South Florida. And again, that's just credit to the team that we built. I can't, as much as you guys want me to take credit for it, I can't take credit for it. We've been fortunate enough and blessed to build a team around us that has helped us succeed. And it's to the point now where, sometimes I tell people that, we're not a law firm, we're a media company that offers legal services.
Right.
And it's to the point also where other people are reaching out to us to do their marketing for them. And now we've built a media company, and there's so many other aspects that we're doing now that we're trying to focus on. A lot of times, it can be a little difficult to be juggling so many things, but I tell my partner and I tell some of the people that work with us, it's supposed to feel this way. That pressure that we feel, it's part of the growth, and it's part of what we've always wanted to be a part of. And like I said, it's a blessing to be a part of it. I'm so happy. I'm so humbled by the support, by the community, by people like you guys that are very intrigued and interested by our story.
I got to tell you, the trajectory is incredible just to watch it, and quite frank. Well, I will also tell you that black and gold color doesn't hurt you either.
I know you love that.
Absolutely. People will look at take a look at you and your experiences and the trajectory of your business and think that, hey, look, man, this guy's done it, right? And it looks like it's just been easy. But talk to me a little bit about the obstacles that you've had to face over time. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, with every great story, there's always stuff that happens behind the scenes that people don't really see and things like
Sure.
that. But as a leader, it's always important for me to stay positive because I'm the commander of the troops, right? And make sure that the troops are always ready to go, always ready to fight, and staying positive. But no, obviously there are things that we have to deal with behind the scenes, and with every successful story, there's always someone trying to bring you down, and we understand that. But I think with us, it's never personal, right? And we understand that we're coming
Never
into a
personal.
terror. No, it isn't.
Hey, you're a bigger man than me.
For others, they may take it personal. But for
Yeah.
us, we understand that we're coming into a territory that many people are very territorial, right? So we understand that there may be certain people or certain groups of people that may not like us coming into an area that they may have dominated for years, right? But again, we're coming in with respect, we're coming in with love. There's never any animosity for us towards anybody. But like I said, coming into it, there are things that we've had to face. There are people that we've had to deal with. But at the end of the day, it's only made me and Jeremy stronger. It's only made our relationship stronger. It's only made our firm stronger. And I think it's to the point now where we've overcome so many obstacles that I don't think there's any obstacle that could come in between the partnership and the love that me and Jeremy have built with one another, with our firm, with our staff. And I wouldn't change anything. People always ask, like, hey, the things that you've had to go through and the things that you've had to deal with, again, that I won't really go into details because I'm just the type of person that I always take the high road, right? So, but it's all helped us, and it's all made us stronger. I don't even know if we'd be here if we didn't go through some of the things that we had to go through behind the scenes that people don't even know about. But now it's to the point now where I don't think anything can come in between it because we've overcome those obstacles. And us overcome those obstacles, like I said, I think has put us in the position that we are today.
Yeah, well, whatever doesn't kill you always makes you
Yes,
stronger,
yes.
right? It makes you
Yeah.
appreciate the wins when you have some losses or you have some adversity.
And
It
as long
makes
as you expect those losses, right? I think that's the
Yeah,
mistake that some people make is like, yeah, when I'm going into something like this, I foresee those losses, right? So when it happens, I'm not surprised. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay, finally here now. All right, now how are we going to pivot? How are we going to move? Because for me, it's always about the next move. And whenever you get to the top of any mountain, it's the bottom of another mountain. So there's never really truly any destination. You think it's like, oh, I'm going to go here, and when you get there, you realize, oh, that's just a stop. That's just a pit stop.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
where's the next move? Where are we going next? So when I tell you that we're not really worried about competition, I sincerely mean that, and then I don't mean it in a offensive way. It's just more of we're just so focused on ourselves
Got it.
that we understand that we're in our own lane, and there's enough out there for everybody to go around.
When we come back, we're going to take another short break to kind of pay the bills again.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want you to talk about the way you entrench yourself in the community. Okay.
Yes.
But for me, that's an amazing part of your overall marketing plan. So when we come back, we'll talk about that. Stay tuned.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
You guys are everywhere, right? It is amazing. It's an amazing machine to watch, right? And I've been lucky enough to kind of sit on the sidelines and watch that. Let's talk about that a little bit. Tell me a little bit about why you believe that is important, giving back to the community. And let's talk a little bit about some of the things that I've seen recently. You guys were last weekend were one of the major sponsors of Rolling Loud. And if anybody has any kind of understanding of what that is and the money it drives into the community, it's got to be anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 people that come into to Miami over a course of a long weekend. It is just amazing thing to watch. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, Rolling Loud, the way we were able to get that, it's crazy. We started our sponsorship with them last year, and we did so well with them They did a survey, and in the survey, we were one of the most memorable vendors there. So this year they approached us and said, "You guys were the first time we ever dealt with a law firm. We've never wanted to deal with a law firm, but no, seriously, they've never wanted to deal with a law firm, but they love the energy that we brought. They love the young, everything that came with the Demesmin Dover, and they wanted us to be a part of it last year. And we did so well last year that they came to us this year and they said, we want you guys to be the fourth stage. And obviously, we were so humbled to even be a part of Rolling Loud. Like you said, Rolling Loud is a huge thing that's done here in the community every single year. They bring some of the best artists. They bring just to have everybody in one spot all together in Miami. It was such a beautiful event. I know there's footage out there.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. We actually lucky enough to have a little bit of footage. Why don't we play that? Because it's interesting for people to see.
Yes,
that's actually dope as hell. I gotta say, it's young, it's vibrant, it represents your company well. That's very, very well done.
Thank you. That's all. That's all. Just sorry to cut you off, but that's just the media team, that we built here. They put all that together and all the marketing that we've done with the staff that came in and everybody helped out throughout that whole weekend and made it a success. And I want to thank them now that I have the opportunity to platform. I want to thank them again. I thank them all weekend, but I think just because you said that video, I want people to know how thankful and appreciative I am for all the hard work that people put in, hours, and sweat, everything. That without them, we wouldn't have been able to have a successful weekend. So yes. Thank you.
Wow. That is very, very cool. I agree. I echo that. They represent your company really, really well, Victor. And I'm sure that based on the types of folks that you're being able to attract and retain, they're going to continue to help to make you successful. Last thing, I am running out of time. What are some of the other projects that you're working on today? Anything that you want to share?
Well, yeah, I mean, we are working on a few things. We don't forget, we do all have the office in Tampa also. We have a nonprofit that we're working on right now. Once everything is finalized on that, we'll be able to talk about that me and Jeremy are working on. We also have franchises that we've opened. One of them was already open. It's the So Fresh in Fort Lauderdale, right there off of US 1, just north of Broward. I think it's 506 North Federal Highway is the address. That's been doing phenomenal. We're opening up another franchise in less than a month across the street in Flagler Village. We've got the media company that, like I said, that we're doing marketing for other people now because they've reached out to us. Just so many different things going on. Again, my wife's doing a couple weeks. So many moving parts, but again, I just feel blessed that I'm able to be a part of this whole journey, this whole process of life, and I make sure that I take everything in. Sometimes I feel like people don't smell the roses, so I definitely try to smell the roses.
Yeah. Take the time to do that, Victor, before it's too late.
But again,
I tell you what, I could talk to you for another hour, but I've run out of time, and I just want to thank you, man. And I want to just say, continue to make a difference, Victor. You make a difference. Continue to do that. I'm proud of you and all the things that you've accomplished. So thank you for taking the time to do this. I know how busy you are. This is the business of Black business. Thank Legacy Magazine also for making this important. And I always say that if it is to be, it is up to me. Victor Demesmin and Dover, personal injury attorneys. Hey, man, you're the best. Take care.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For Demesmin Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesmin Dover Law Firm, your accident attorney.